Welcome to Workers in the Bay Back in the Day. I'm Lloyd Francis. Today we're going to look back in time at a woman, entrepreneur, named Connie Williams from Trinidad and Tobago. She immigrated from Trinidad and Tobago in 1924, coming to New York and opening her first restaurant in 1942 called the Calypso. Calypso was a restaurant located in Greenwich Village at 51 McDougal Street, just blocks away from Washington Square Park. Her establishment was an immediate hit, and in 1943, painter Buford Delaney introduced a 19-year-old kid by the name of James Baldwin to Connie Williams, who hired him to work as a waiter at her restaurant. While working as a waiter at the Calypso, Baldwin met Henry Miller and also became good friends with Marlon Brando. Connie's restaurant in the village was frequented by many luminaries such as Tennessee Williams, Eartha Kitt, Richard Wright, and Paul Robeson. James Baldwin wrote about Connie Williams himself, writing, "Because of Buford Delaney and Connie Williams, a beautiful black lady from Trinidad, who ran the restaurant in which I was a waiter, I was never entirely at the mercy of an environment at once hostile and seductive." In 1959, Williams moved to San Francisco at a friend's suggestion. Once there, she ran a restaurant called Caribbean Gourmet in Santa Rosa, but in 1962 she closed it and moved to the Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, opening up a new restaurant, and she called it Connie's. It was there that I met Connie as a young child, as my father, who knew her from Connie's days in the village, insisted on coming to her establishment to eat, drink, and chat all day with other homesick Jamaicans, Trinidadians, and Bahamians who made it a habit to come to Connie's every Saturday. I sat in the window, watching the hippies strolling by in clotted throngs that left little room for a pedestrian to walk by. It was always a chaotic scene outside Connie's place, stinking clouds of patchouli, and folks so high on LSD they almost floated by the window. As a 7-year-old kid, I was spellbound, promising myself not to end up like this. Eventually, Connie had to move her establishment to 1909 Fillmore Street due to the crazy activity surrounding the Summer of Love that drove business away from her restaurant. The San Francisco Examiner wrote about her old place, saying, "The public, it appears, is so bugged by the hippie scene on the Haight that nobody but her regulars and the most daring newcomers will venture near the place." A 1974 restaurant guide said, "No attempt has been made to hide the kitchen from the customer's view or mask the smell of the food cooking. While aromas are cranking up your appetite, you can glance back and see Connie in a calico dress and a bandana preparing your meal." Connie's restaurant was also a community and cultural anchor. Her place was the site of many fundraisers for community issues. Leaving the food service business in 1979, she had turned her attention to culture and politics, trying to create a carnival parade in the Western Addition. In 1979, she left the food service business and closed her restaurant, turning her attention to culture and politics in San Francisco. She organized the first carnival parade in San Francisco that was held in the Western Addition. Her carnival parade inspired folks in the Mission to create what is today the longest carnival parade in California. Connie Williams passed away in 2002 at the age of 97. Despite not being remembered in San Francisco, she was a force of nature in her own time and influenced many lives, including my own. I hope you've enjoyed learning about this important entrepreneur from San Francisco's recent past. Here at Workers in the Bay Back in the Day, we're bringing you stories of people like Miss Connie who helped power this region. Next week, we'll share stories about healthcare workers then and today and the important part they play here in Northern California. So please stay in touch by subscribing and getting our next post here on Patreon.